Now, of course, when it comes to fragrances that bear niche quality, people can often expect to spend hundreds of dollars, right? We're talking about huge brands like Raja Parfum and Bond No. 9 and Creed. Well, in today's episode, we're going to take a closer look at a fragrance that is about 75 bucks. This is from a brand that is based out of New York. It's called Preproduction Perfumery. The fragrance is called MV, or if that's a Roman numeral, it would be 1005. I'm looking forward to giving you my thoughts on this fragrance that possesses or bears niche quality in just a second, so make sure to stay tuned. Now, before I begin today's episode and I give you my thoughts on MV or 1005 by Preproduction Perfumery, I'll tell you all about the smell, the notes, comparisons, the performance, if I think it smells like any other popular fragrance, so on and so forth. But I do want to start the video off first by saying that if you're a fan of fragrance-related content, please do consider supporting the channel by subscribing to it, hit the bell icon, and give this video a thumbs up. It would really mean a lot to me. Now, this is not a sponsored video. I'm not getting paid anything for this. I'm going to drop the link down below though, just to make it more convenient for you if you are interested in checking out this brand. It is based out of New York, and this is a fragrance with a pretty simple note breakdown. It says bergamot, ginger, and tonka bean. If you look it up online, it says vetiver, woodsy notes, musk. It has some other ingredients in there, and I was able to make a couple of comparisons, and I'm pretty dead set. I have my conviction as to what ingredients are the most concentrated in this blend, and I'm going to give you my assessment of that in just a while. Let's go ahead and start things off with a quick look at the presentation first. So right in the opening of this fragrance, you are going to get this bergamot and tonka bean combination. It's creamy, it has that coumarinic and vanillic overtone, and that's what leads me to say that I'm getting a lot of tonka bean from this fragrance. Tonka bean is a wonderful ingredient. In this fragrance, it does give off, just in the opening, a bit of a designer vibe. And I say that because you think of fragrances like Mandarina Duck Pure Black or Versace Eros or Invictus by Paco Rabanne. These are fragrances that have a lot of tonka bean in them. And even with this fragrance, I am getting that overdose of tonka, and let me tell you something, it smells wonderful. Right? So that bergamot is very bright, it's juicy, it's the perfect amount of effervescence. I wouldn't go ahead and classify this as a citrus fragrance because there's a lot of other things happening in there as well. As far as the note breakdown is concerned, you know, you go online and it's inspired by the protagonist from the novel I Am Legend by Richard Matheson. And I remember reading that when I was in college, and of course I watched the film adaptation starring Will Smith as well, and I personally love the book and I've read it a number of times as well. So it's about this post-apocalyptic world that is run by zombies basically, and this guy tries to protect himself and his dog, and you know, it's a very sort of charismatic fragrance, and it's about, I guess, a sense of adventure and I don't want to say a sense of impending doom because that's not what this fragrance is about, but it has this zesty introduction, it has the tonka bean, and it kind of has like this weird staticky vibe in the dry down that is quite musky, and it almost has like this melon-like vibe to it. Melon, cantaloupe, something of that nature. And it's funny because I'm smelling it and I'm like, there's an accord in here that I've smelled before. And I said, where is this coming from? And eventually I made the connection. It kind of reminds me of Fantomas by Nasomato. So if you give this one like 5-10 minutes to dry down, there's going to be like this fog machine accord with like this melon vibe. And it's kind of hard to describe it. If you want to watch my review of Fantomas, you can certainly do that. That's where I kind of take a deeper dive into the analysis and the deconstruction of the scent. But in the case of this fragrance, it's like a creamier, sweeter version, a more designer version, if you will, of Nasomato Fantomas. But the interesting thing about this one, like I said in the intro, is it possesses that niche quality. You think about a Nasomato fragrance, 30 mils, almost 200 bucks. Here you have 1 ounce as well, 30 mil, but for 75 bucks, or at least That's what I remember when I looked it up online about a week ago. So this fragrance is really affordably priced. The performance is great. The concentration is also very good. And this fragrance has mystery. It has class. It has a playful nature to it. The ginger that's in here now, it's funny. I thought it was going to be more of a spicier ginger, like Dior Sport or something like that. But I'm actually not getting a whole lot of ginger. But I can see how it kind of has that interplay with the citrus in the opening. So I do think it has an effect. It's just that it's kind of more of a secondary note. You're going to get a lot of tonka. You're going to get that melon-like musky vibe from this that you also get from Fantomas by Nasomato. Guys, check this one out. They have a lot of original creations. They have a lot of inspirations on their website as well. So I'm going to drop all of the information down below. Like I said, this is not a sponsored video. I just want to make it easy for you to discover some new fragrances in this ever-growing, ever-evolving, ever-changing landscape of scents. Let's go ahead and finish things off with my overall assessment. So first up, in terms of the uniqueness and the overall smell, all things considered, I think it's a fairly unique fragrance. Of course, I made comparisons to Fantomas by Nasomato, and it does have tonka in the opening, and tonka is a ubiquitous ingredient which is found in like 95% of fragrances out there. But definitely try this one for yourself. At the end of the day, it does do things differently. The longevity on this one is about 8 to 9 hours on skin. Projection was really good for the first 45 minutes of application. It radiated within an arm's length, but the performance is pretty consistent. I think there is an element of linearity about this fragrance as well, just because you're going to get that blast of tonka bean in the opening, but tonka is a base note. So it does pretty much linger and it doesn't evolve quite a lot on the skin, but it will become an elbow's length scent right around hour 6, a skin scent right around hour 8 or 9. In terms of the versatility is pretty good. I could see myself wearing this one in every season except for the summer, just because there is a touch of sweetness to the tonka and it does have some darker, longer lasting elements. So I think colder weather is fine. You can dress it up, dress it down. Great for anybody of any age, perfectly unisex as well. As far as the presentation is concerned, just has a bed of silk on the inside, the silhouette of the bottle. Very simple presentation, and it's magnetic as well. So that's a really nice touch to it too, but quite minimalist if I'm being honest with you. No discerning information as far as the ingredients or company information, but of course you can find all of that on the brand's website. My final verdict on this fragrance is, if you are looking for a niche quality fragrance that is well under 100 USD. If you're looking for a sweeter alternative to Nasomato Fantomas, you're looking for something fruity, musky with a lot of tonka bean, something that is sweet, something that can be playful, something you can wear on a date, something that's quite versatile and decently long lasting, check out MV or 1005 by Preproduction Perfumery. Look, thank you so much for watching today's episode. Why don't you go ahead and drop a comment down below and let me know, after you've had the opportunity to look at the website, are there any fragrances that would be of interest to you? If you did have the opportunity to pick something up from this brand, what would you get and why? I always love the interaction. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. If you enjoyed it, or if I gave you the opportunity to learn about a new fragrance today, why don't you show your support? And it's absolutely free. All you have to do is subscribe, hit the bell, and give this video a gentle thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm. Thank you guys for watching. Love you all, and we'll see you tomorrow with a new episode. Bye.